Alright, so I'm going to take a break on Jumpy 2.0. I covered it up there so I don't spoil any surprises. But I want to do something different today. I'm going to take a bunch of scrap and make a go-kart out of it. So everything that I'm going to use is something I probably would have just thrown away. We got this is the F&R 1-speed MTD rear end that was in Sean's tractor. This is the front end off of the Noma. We got 2 pieces of angle iron here, about that long. We got this engine here. Somebody gave it to me for free. It was on a pressure washer, but the pressure washer blew up. It does run. And I'm not sure what we're going to use for steering, either the handlebars or I'll just make a steering wheel or something out of something else. So we'll go ahead and get some of this set up and I'll come right back. Or something like that, I'm guessing, you know, and then the motor will go here. We'll have something here for a seat, gas pedal, brake pedal, make something for the steering. So we got the frame made up here. Got it bolted to the back axle. I wasn't really worried about making something for the back yet because I'll have other things bracing it down along the way. There's the front. Just welded on to the front axle here. Steers pretty good. So I was gonna try to figure out how to mount the engine, because I kind of want to put the engine, you know, right back here. And I was gonna use this old torque converter clutch that I had laying around. Just a 3/4. So I just hacked a hole in this thing here so I had something that I can weld stuff to. And I wanted to take and hold the engine up there to measure, you know, the distance that, or the height it was going to have to be so that the pulley matched up. So I went to put this on here. It don't work. It's bigger than the 3/4 shaft. So I said, alright, I have a 1-inch shaft one. It must be 1 inch. Tried that. Well, that goes on there, but it's way too big. So it's not 1 inch either. I took and measured it. Looks like it's 7/8 shaft. So that's awesome. I definitely don't have a clutch for 7/8 shaft. So after thinking a little bit, I have this clutch that came with the mini bike, and it's raining like hell out there. Hopefully you can hear me over all that. But I have this clutch that came with the mini bike, just a chain clutch. So I thought I could take another pulley like this one here, cut the hole out a little bit, and then put that over that and weld it to this. And that would work. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna weld, or well, that was my first thought. I was like, fuck it, I'll just weld the clutch right to the crankshaft. But then, how do you, I can get it close as I can, but it doesn't always end up being right. And so I'm thinking, how the heck am I going to hold this on here so it's straight and that I can weld it, and that way I know it's not going to be wobbling around. So I went to look for something that was this thickness, that I could maybe center in the hole here or something. Then I had another idea. I decided to find a bolt that was this size, drill a hole in the center and put the other bolt into it. So that's what I did. I took a bolt that's 5/8, just fits in here. Drilled a hole into the end of the bolt in the center. Took the original bolt that threaded into the crankshaft, welded it, stuck it in the hole, welded it around. And I had to cut a keyway slot in it, because this has a keyway down the middle. So now you can take this, stick it in there, and it turns the whole clutch because of the keyway. But I can take this, put it on there, tighten that down, and that should work right there. Then I can weld the pulley on. I'll probably cut this out a little bit so it slides over the shaft, and I'll weld it, where the sprocket is here. That way it sits, probably about right there. Ish. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out how I'm going to mar this hole out some so that I can fit it on this shaft. We don't have to take off much, just a little bit, and I should be able to get it to fit. That actually worked really good. I just did it enough to plunge the ball through there, and it's just enough to fit right on there. So I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, maybe I should grind this off so it can sink down a little further. That way it's not up. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because it's going to have the bolt there anyway, so it's going to be that low anyway. Alright, so we got that just welded on there. Be good enough. It's gonna have to be way the fuck up there. So I think that's kind of how I'm going to have the engine sitting. Gonna have to make a couple brackets. Alright, so I got the motor on there. I just put 2 jack stands under there where it was the right height, and then scabbed a bunch of crap in there to hold it up. The steering wheel I have on there, it's just a piece of black pipe. It didn't fit in the end of the steering wheel, so I ground it down. I welded a nut on the inside of the shaft up at this end here, and then you can put a bolt in it and it pulls it up into the thing. That's just a nut there, and there's a bolt down there for the bottom of the steering. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make the steering work, brake pedal, gas pedal. The seat pan is made out of grill and a couple lawnmower deck brackets. Alright, so we got bolt. This will be the pivot point. Washer that we ground a flat spot on. Guess we don't need the nut really. Let's weld this on here real quick. Get a quick one on both sides. That'll work. Stick that in there. Tack this bolt on here. So we'll just go ahead and weld it. Alright, so I guess the battery died while I was doing that, so I guess I really was talking to myself. But I got the gas pedal, brake pedal. I'm going to cut this off here, both these bolts here. Got the steering I think I'm still going to put a washer here just to keep this from moving in or out. And then I'm going to put something there anyway. And then I welded a heim joint kind of thing off of a lawnmower shifter. I put a bolt through it, welded the bolt to the steering that goes across here. So the steering's pretty freaking good. I like that. I like that better than the steering we have on the mowers. Alright, so here's the scrap cart. I think I got enough done here that we can take it for a test drive. I tried to once already, and then the carburetor got plugged up. There was a bunch of stuff in there. So when I first hooked up the throttle, I had it pulling this way, and that was backwards. It was actually full throttle when the cable was let go, and not when it was pulled. This is not cooperating. So I changed it, I moved the bracket back here and hooked it up there. So it seems like that'll work better, at least it works the right direction. The engine's loose on the one bolt, but fuck it. So this is it. We had a couple pieces of angle iron laying around, the front end off the Noma, the rear end that was in Sean's mower, that's a 4 neutral reverse MTD 1-speed. So these yellow things are John Deere deck brackets. This here's just a tensioner pulley I had laying around, or an idler pulley, spring off of something. The pulleys are both off of something. You can see the torque converter there that I welded the pulley to and then bolted to the shaft. The seat is barbecue grill grates. These steering arms are, I think, John Deere deck brackets too. The rest of this stuff is just stuff I had laying around. The engine was given to me. It supposedly didn't run, but it started right up. So should be good enough to take for a test drive. There's no brakes yet. I haven't hooked the brakes up. I have to figure that out still. The steering, I just used a bolt piece of a kind of like a heim joint or whatever you want to call it. But it works pretty good. And then that's about it. The rest is junk. Let's see if we can start this. It's in neutral right now. And then this little button down there. Just flick that all the way in. That's forward, out is reverse. I may eventually make a handle so you can actually use reverse while you're driving. I'd say that works. It's not great. It's not super fast. Probably has a little more in there, but there's really nowhere to put your feet. So I'm going to go ahead and make something here to somewhere to put your feet at. And then probably plate the rest of this in so that you're not getting wet and stuff like I did. But the scrap cart works, surprisingly. I wasn't sure if it was even going to go, really. In theory, it was going to, but I just wasn't sure. So we'll probably do a few other things to it, fix it up a little better, but something else to ride. It was free, made out of crap that was just laying around, so. If you like that video, give it the thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe. Thanks for watching.